So with that part being said, palliative care is the specialty of serious illness. A lot of people mistake and myth palliative care with hospice, but palliative care is literally just the specialty of serious illness. So I'm going to ask you guys to stop and think about it. Everybody knows a cardiologist is for your heart, a podiatrist is for your feet, but does anyone obviously know a loved one, have a loved one, a neighbor, a friend? How many people at church have a serious illness? Any age and any stage, you'll see this. By age and stage, I don't mean age from like time of life. I don't mean you're 18, you can vote, 21, you can buy a drink. That's not what I mean. I mean, if you were just diagnosed with any serious illness, whether that's diabetes, dementia, cardiac disease, lung disease, any of those, you qualify for palliative care. One of the big things with palliative care is it can be provided in conjunction with any other service lines. Home health, your current PCP. My grandmother, at 89 years old, still used her PCP that she went to high school with. So guess how old he was? And she wasn't leaving him until he met Jesus, okay? So I'm just saying, guys, you get to keep your PCP. We work with them. If you have a cardiologist, an endocrinologist, a neurologist, if you're working any of those programs, we're that extra layer of support. We don't want to take you from a team that's already working. We want to work with you. In addition to that, we honor the patient's preference. Our patients and families drive the boat. We just help them to navigate the waters. What are we not? We are not hospice. Palliative care can be combined with anything like dialysis, chemotherapy, any curative treatment options. Let me say it again, we are not hospice. Some of the obstacles I have is people think we are hospice. I got told this morning in a patient's room, wow, you sure are nice. And I said, thanks. And she said, especially for someone that I thought was coming to tell me I was dying. I said, well, I say that it's an obstacle, it's a myth. We focus on quality life and how we're living. We don't look at all of the moments that we have left. We try to create moments that take our breaths away. Our opportunities is it's not like it is on TV. When I say that, how many watch Grey's Anatomy? Y'all know there's some good-looking people on there. Okay? Amen. When I say that, things are not. Every different type of dementia is not like it is in TV. It's not like Grey's Anatomy. And every single treatment plan is not that way as well. Grey's Anatomy said that patients have a full code, they get CPR, and next thing you know, Meredith Grey's up doing surgery the next week. That doesn't happen. That would be another myth. But something that is true and we all suffer from is I want you guys to think about the last time you called Nina a doctor's appointment. Shout it out. How long did you have to wait? Anything that's months isn't good, right? That's entirely too long. You know you could get pregnant and develop a fetal heart tone, grow a life with a heartbeat in 4 months, right? So we can't wait for symptoms that we're having. The average wait time is ultimately for primary care is 18 days. You see it increases to 32, and then the specialty appointments go up to 45. If you're having chest pain or shortness of breath, and you call me and I go, oh yeah, that sounds real bad, catch me in a month and a half. That's not an effective treatment plan. Palliative care is going to actually come to your house. And we're actually going to do that as an acute call because you have a number you can call 24/7, and you're going to get a nurse practitioner or a physician on the line. Studies actually show that even in patients that have PCPs, PCP hours are kind of like bank hours, right? It's like 9 to 5. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love mine, and my grandmother loved hers for 89 years too. But with that part being said, do you get a UTI or an abscess tooth that Friday at 4, or is it Friday at 6? And what do? So these patients and families obviously have to go sit at the ER in urgent care. Palliative care allows us to come to your home, to provide a provider visit, to do a telehealth if that's needed, to get lab work, x-rays, and antibiotics to keep you out of the ER. Our current readmission rate, if you or a loved one or a friend have been in the hospital recently, you know they're not comfortable. I mean, they serve their purpose, but there's not Serta mattresses, okay? They're not giving you Serta mattresses. and you don't have the full amenities of the Hilton there. They're not the most comfortable place. If we can keep you at home where you are comfortable, that's where we want to service you. So 24/7, we're available. We can come anywhere that you call home. If that's an assisted living, if that's a residential care facility, if that's a current memory care facility, wherever you're at. We are the only palliative care in the state that will actually service patients in hospitals. I currently have teams of physicians and nurse practitioners at Searcy, Unity, CHI Little Rock, CHI Hot Springs. And so if a loved one, your loved one, end up in the hospital and that's unavoidable, then we can come there to see you and partner. And then, of course, follow you home. Let's say that you have a lot of IST. That's what my grandma calls them, IST. IST mean cardiologist, endocrinologist, nephrologist, neurologist. I don't know what all the IST are, but apparently you can only get so many, and past a 6-pack's just good enough for anybody. So with that, that's a lot of appointments to keep up with. You're fighting traffic, you have wait time. Anyone want to holler out what your average wait time is in your doctor's office? Ooh, that's steep. Okay. When we think about that, how long does your doctor spend with you when they're in there? True story. And we're like TikTok, okay, guys? We listen and we don't judge here. Because I'm in a white lab coat, so often I try to keep my wait time short. But you're exactly right. Your wait time may be upwards of 2 hours, but your time in with your provider is 10 minutes. I recently had to get a new PCP. Mine retired, and I didn't keep him till Jesus like my grandma did. But with that part being said, I wrote out a couple things I had questions on, and he came in and he introduced me, and he saw my list, and he said, I've only got time for 2. Amen. Amen. That was my first and last time to see him. You're exactly right. I don't feel that we can be limited to 2 or 3. We need to be able to navigate any symptoms we're having, and we need to be able to anticipate the problems that we may have in the future. So with that part being said, palliative care specializes in serious illness, but we also care coordinate. So if you have a cardiologist and you have a pulmonologist, and we do an EKG in your home because maybe you're having increased falls, we want to rule out some cardiac arrhythmias, we can telehealth in your cardiologist, and we can also send those notes to every IST you've got. So our goal is to save you that wait time and coordinate your care. Caregiver burden. At the end of the day, do you ever say, what I wouldn't give for a nap? But people don't sleep on command, okay? And that's just the way it is. So we assess caregiver burden each and every visit. Sometimes sitting in traffic to go pick up a prescription is just enough that breaks the camel's back. But a lot of people don't realize that there are pharmacies that deliver. There are companies that we help write the grants for to deliver meals. So we will look at every one of the obstacles, even if they're not obstacles today, but tomorrow, and help you navigate those, because it's one less thing that you have to do. It's something that we can take off your plate. Advanced care planning. It's something that, again, we don't wait till that time to do it. Let's talk about what the road ahead has to hold, and let's get a game plan, because it takes the village. We're also going to look at reconciliation of medications. So did anyone have heartburn? Now, I didn't give it to you for the record, but with that part being said, if you take a Pepcid, a Prilosec, a Zantac, a Nexium, any of those meds, has anyone ever told you that if you take a thyroid med or over 700 other medications within an hour of taking it, that it will completely neutralize that? No. I say that to say we don't want our patients and family members to get full on medications. But what we do want is to make every medicine they need count, and we want it to be effective. So if I look at a med list and I see, hey, this is a great med and they need it, but they're taking it at the same time as they are Synthroid, it's neutralizing the Synthroid. No wonder they're so symptomatic. Those are things that we do at the bedside to help. And those are things that often aren't done in your clinics and offices because they're only there 10 minutes. Education on disease process. Those are times that we talk about the concerns that we may have before they arise. Have you ever had a situation pop up and you said, is that normal? I wonder how I should navigate this. You may not be having to do it now, but it may be in the future. How to have difficult conversations, how to take the keys. What if your loved one won't get back in the car at Walmart? And I gotta be honest, sometimes I resist getting back in the car at Walmart. I mean, redirection is the struggle's real. And then symptom assessment. Nobody ever runs into the ER and says, my chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is flared up. Instead, they say, I'm short of breath and my chest hurts. So we get a plan for that to keep you at home. One of my favorite parts of our program is our guide resources. Some are back here by the column in the back. Being a white wave she's got. This is her brainchild, and literally this model is all about recognizing the obstacles that we have and resources to be successful. You're provided, and we are the only one in the state with this, you're provided with a specialized care coordinator that will call, is available 24/7. Everything on medication questions, prior authorizations, helping get meds covered that weren't previously, filling out grant applications, and managing anything right down to expedite and follow-up appointments. The education and support's there. We do monthly education and support meetings. And then lastly, respite services. Those services are available up to $2,500 a year. It's an 8-year model through CMS, and it auto-renews every year. So I'm sure everyone in this room, including myself, could think of some additional services and things that we could do with $2,500. We're proven, obviously, if we're addressing problems before they come, to improve satisfaction, and we're helping keep people out of the hospital where we know they're not comfortable. Patients don't rest in the hospital, and neither do us caregivers. I know they've got my information for sure. Thank you, guys.